Frequencies not in use. I can say that with any doubt whatsoever. It's K4PEW net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. I'll just right to the middle part. The net may be broken at any time for emergency travel. For information on this net, see our website. Well, you actually go to YouTube first. Go to the search block in YouTube. It's YOUTUBE, in case you never heard of it. And put the search block my call, K4PEW, and you can watch the screen here, and you'll see and hear stations you may not be able to hear, and you can see there your signal strength relative to others on my screen, what I hear at this location. Just give you a reference point for how good your station's operating. Make you want to spend more money if you can't hear anything. Anyway, you can also go to our website, 146415.net, 146415.net. Interesting simplex information. Then you can go to groups.io and sign up for our email sharing site there, where you can buy, sell equipment, exchange technical information. Mostly that's kind of stuff we do. There's about 202 people or 203 people on at the moment. It's amazing, because I remember it was nothing. It used to be just 15 or 20, and now it's 200. You must be doing something wrong to have that many. Or you can send me an email at k4pew@arrl.net. The net normally meets at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. We've been doing that now as we finished off our 8th year. We're in our first month of the 9th year. In fact, we're actually in our second month of the 9th year. So it's a second. Just take my word for it. Anyway, we conduct the net on the FM night on 146.415 FM simplex. Tonight we're going to do that, and then we're going to go over to 28.415, and then we're going to go over to 223.415. And of course, the last one's on FM, and the 10-meter one is on upper sideband. For most of you already know that. Where was I? Oh yeah, purpose of net is to have fun. Figure out what you can hear, what you can't hear. Get mad at yourself for not saving up for the right antenna or the right rig or the right feed line, but that's kind of where the hobby is. If you're interested in the hobby, eventually you'll do upgrades if you're interested in simplex. I mean, there are other reasons to be on ham radio, but you still have to have an antenna. Usually you want a better one. The more you want to get on the air, the better the antenna you're going to want. Feed line's important too, and radio is kind of important, but everything's in the antenna. As far as announcements, we don't have any announcements today other than those 3 nets. Here on 2 meters, and then on 10 meters, 28.415, and then on what do you call it? 220 band on the 223.415. Now we've only got a handful of people there at the moment, but I didn't even expect to have a handful of people at this point, considering I only knew a couple of people who had 220 capabilities. Anyway, you can have a 220. That's the problem, is it's not everyone has a 220 antenna either, and the radio costs. You can get a cheap antenna, cheap radio for somewhere between $100 and $150, between a 45 watt or a 25 watt and a 50 watt. And also the antenna is going to cost you, I don't know, $100 to $200 for one of those. So it's not like it's the cheapest thing on the planet, but it's a lot of fun. Anyway, does anybody have any other announcements for the net? Besides the 10-meter net, there's another 10-meter net on Sunday nights on the same frequency, 28.415. It's on upper sideband. That's Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. So I send out reminders for all of those on the system here, but you can, if you don't, just write it down. 28.415, 7:30 p.m. Sunday nights. Any other announcements?
WAPLA.
Hey, what's up there, Mr. Phillip?
Oh, not too much. Just want to remind everybody that there's a CQ Worldwide DX contest going on this weekend. Starts October 29th and it's the 30th. Starts at midnight on Saturday and ends at 23:59 on Sunday. For more information, cqww.com. And then also VE testing in Wilson County, November the 5th at 4:30 p.m. at 101 Oak Street at the WEMA Training Center. So anybody looking for an upgrade or dealer license, come on. WAPLA, back to net.
You said that was Saturday night?
That's Saturday night.
Give me the address again, please.
I didn't catch your last transmission.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the address? I forgot the address.
110 Oak Street, WEMA Training Center.
All righty. upgrade to any test, technician, general, extra. The Wilson Amateur Radio Club is doing testing at the 110 Oak Street in Lebanon. If you have any questions, just email me or email Philip. He's on the system there. But there's also a CQ Worldwide DX contest that starts. I'm not sure whether it's 1200 Zulu or 1200 local. I don't think it's 1200 local. Is that 1200 Zulu, Philip?
It starts 000 UTC Saturday.
Okay, that would be at UT. That's London time. So in other words, it's going to start about, I guess that's 7 p.m. I think, isn't that what it would be? 7 p.m. Saturday night for us.
Oh, I'm not that smart. I can just read what's on the screen here.
Very, very good. Yeah, see, they changed everything out. Now they call it UTC. And when I was, it was always either Greenwich Mean Time, that's GMT, or Zulu time, which it was in the military. It wasn't the Navy anyway. Anyway, a CQ DX contest all weekend. Of course, that's mostly on the HF band. I mean, you can try it on 2 meters if you want to, but it's not going to work out too well. And again, the testing 110 Oak Street. That's Saturday night at what time, Philip?
Testing starts at 4:30, and then everybody's welcome to stay for the meeting if they want to. Meeting starts at 6.
All righty, 4:30 you said for the testing.
Roger, Roger.
Okay, be there at 4:30. But be there early. If you need to have information on what you need for testing, you need ID. You already need your FCC. What do you call that? What that thing? Give me with that again, because they're going to have to look somewhere for that information.
Yeah, before you come for a technician license, you need to go ahead and register for your FRN number. And anybody needs more information about that, they can go to arrl.org. And then at the top left search box, type in test, and it should be in the first or second article, and it should have all the information you need as far as what to bring and all that good stuff for the test session. Yeah,
you need ID, picture ID, and the FRN number, which is a regular. You'll see what it is. But go to ARRL.org, ARRL.org, and just go to. You'll see it there for testing or for testing. You'll see some stuff in there. Just put it in a search block. Testing, technician testing. You'll see it, and they'll just give you the requirements. It's not that tough. And you got to bring a $20 bill. That'll cover the fee. I don't know what it is. Doesn't matter at this point. Let's move on. Any other announcements?
Yeah, for WBZ.
Hey, Chris, what's up?
There was an email sent out about October 10th on the group email list. There is a general class licensing course on Zoom that begins tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern, so that'd be 5:30 our time. If you want, I can forward this back to the group so it's easier to find. But if you want to get signed up, there's a guy's email address on here. You got to email him to get signed up. I don't know how long it takes to get signed up. It says there's going to be 9 sessions, 2 breaks for the holidays, 3-hour sessions each, and it will be recorded. So sponsored by the National Electronics.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, do ahead and post that again if you don't mind. I remember seeing that come through, but having those courses online is a big advantage for somebody who wants to put the time into it. It's a little tough to study from scratch, and you still would have to buy. Generally, you buy one of the books, and they're $25 to $50 for the book. So this one's free. So anyway, if you would, we'll send that out to the group. Thank you.
Yeah, you may want to make a note that starts tomorrow. So anybody who wants to sign up should probably email pretty quick to get that ball rolling. I think Roy said he's going to be starting a class tomorrow. I'm not sure if this is the same one. KO4 or OKE. If he's on, maybe he can chime in. Anyway, that's all for me. Back to Matt, KF4WBZ.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. By the way, I think Roy's was actually for his GED.
Oh, well, maybe I'm wrong. I thought he said it was a general class.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking about that. Getting his government equivalency diploma. Anyway, no, Roy, I'm pretty sure Roy's got that already. Anyway, does anybody else have any other announcements?
AG4S Wrestling NFL.
Well, that's not an announcement. That's a tragedy.
You still hear me? I'm surprised. I'm keen up on the scenery antenna.
Yeah, no, I can hear you just fine. Very good. We'll catch you in a minute there when we get around to that area. Thanks, Charles. Who else? Well, let me start this. We're going to start out with net number 843 for those of you who might be keeping track. We're starting from the east tonight, and let's see. We're going to take people short on time first. Please come now. I'm sorry. Was that you there? I actually doubled with you. I think that was Jeff, wasn't it?
That's me, WI4G. I'm short on time tonight. Just hello everyone. So nothing much going on here.
All right. Hope all is well. You got to get over to the breakfast next time or sometime if you can.
I'm usually busy on Saturdays, so right now I'm not able to do this, but maybe sometime soon.
All right. You're always welcome. All right. That was Jeff. He's in Madison, Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. Who else is short on time? All righty. We got any first time check-ins? All right. We'll move right over to the east then. We're looking for east side check-ins. Please come now. All right. Man, it's the first time you got in there first, I think. There, Eddie, how you doing?
Okay, I'm trying to beat James. Maybe I did. Hope everybody's doing okay tonight. Thanks for doing the net.
I think you did. Somebody's double. Hold on. Whoever's doubling in there. I was talking to Eddie, Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-ray. He beat everybody in there. But he must have shaved down his push to talk button so it'll go in fast. Everything going all right, Eddie?
Yeah, I like the trigger pull on my mic.
Yeah, very good. And nothing else good for the net?
That's about all. So just wait till tomorrow and try that a little bit. Get a few more things done around the house.
Yeah, very good. Sounds like there's somebody else doubling on purpose, but it sounds so weak. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, that's Eddie. Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-ray. He's in Gladeville. Who else was east?
James.
Hey, James, were you accidentally doubling with Eddie? Were you?
I couldn't hear him.
Oh, really? Huh. That's interesting. He comes in loud. Can't you believe you couldn't hear him? Are you on your HT?
No, my kid with my HT is broken.
Oh boy. You send it into the shop, or is it just one of the cheap ones?
Oh, it's got some broken parts.
Okay, very good. Everything else going all right for you?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. I just had to give up on the Yaesu. I don't know if they can fix it or you have to just buy another one sometime.
What, is the Yaesu 2-meter HT?
Yeah. Some of the parts broke in it.
Oh, well. I don't know. I think I'd buy a new one. I mean, a real expensive one, I'd send it into the shop, but not a relatively cheap one,
I don't even remember how much that cost. You have an idea what they used to cost?
Which one was it?
The Yaesu. I don't know the model.
How am I supposed to know what it costs? Let's put it this way. You can buy a decent single band Yaesu for about $120 or something.
That sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I think so. Anything else for the net tonight, James? You missed being first on the east call. How do you manage that?
Thanks.
All righty. Good to have you in there. That was James here in Mount Juliet, Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel, India. Who else is next? East.
4 DXD, Chris, and Royal Hill.
All right. Very good. I doubled with you accidentally there, Chris. KG4CXE. That is the call, isn't it?
Yep. Sorry, I thought you said who's next. Yep, jump right in.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Everything going well with you?
Yep, doing good. How about you?
Oh, reasonably so. It's cooling off. It feels good.
Yeah, it is getting cooler out there. Windy today, too.
Yeah, I know. I got about a foot. Seems like a foot deep of leaves in my yard.
Yeah, it's crazy. They keep getting worse. We're gonna have to get them cut.
Well, I've got 2 big maple trees in my front yard, and that certainly doesn't help.
Yeah, but those look good though when they change.
Oh yeah, they really look dandy, but not when they're on the ground. They even look nice, but my wife makes me get rid of them.
Yeah, they're a pain. They're a pain.
If it were me, I'd just leave them. They'd rot.
Yeah, I mean, hey, let them go back to where, to the ground.
Well, I just mow them to death, and they just all break them up. I mulch them, and it does the same thing. Anyway, anything else for that, Chris?
No, that's it. 73.
Very good. That's KG4CXE, Chris in Rural Hill. Who else is east? Nobody else east. Going to the north. Nobody north tonight? Wow. Over to the west.
Hey, I'm here.
Who's on him? I wonder where you were. I wonder if you were just sleeping at the switch there.
Yeah, I was. I was on the wrong switch again. Trying to key up, and I'm on the wrong radio.
I've only done that about 100 times.
I'm catching up to you.
Everything going good for you, Frank?
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. Didn't get the bad weather like we thought we really were, so that's good.
Well, wasn't enough rain to be meaningful, but we'll take all we can get.
Yeah, no, I know. This is the problem with when they, you need a steady one. But yeah, everything's good here. Thanks for doing the net, and yeah, I got nothing else.
Yeah, very good. When are you going to get a 220 rig?
It's gonna have to wait a little bit, but I'll probably get one. I just don't want to get another HT. I'm not Richard.
Richard's probably got one you can have. He wouldn't even notice it's missing.
That is true. That is true.
Very good. That was Frank. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo. Wrong radio Frank. How's that? Is that a good name? Anyway, I've done the same thing. And he's here in northwest Mount Juliet. Who else is north or west?
WB0NOL.
Hello, Mark. Everything okay with you?
Yep, everything's good. Don't really have anything for the net. And I'm hearing myself somewhere in here. Must have another radio. Oh, I know what it is. Am I feeding back?
No, it's no feedback at all.
Okay. Well, I had a talkie on across the desk here, so I was hearing myself, driving me crazy. Anyway, you sound good. I always do. And I don't really have anything else.
Very good. That was Mark. Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar in northwest Wilson County. Who else is north or west?
KI4 WBZ.
IRF and KN4TKS. I love action.
Hang on, there was a double/triple in there, but Chris won a KI4WBZ. Yeah, you sound good, Chris.
Yeah, I got everything hooked back up after I had to pillage my power supply for an event we were working last weekend. Did get a 220 rig last week, still in the box, but Bob's got a state lot that he's selling off. Actually had access to two of them, but I only got one because Greg was over there too. OCD, KB9 OCD. He was at the meeting. Told Bob I wanted both of them because I figured I'd keep one, and somebody in the Simplex group might be interested in the other one. But I guess Greg's kind of in the Simplex group too, so he hopped on and bought that other radio. There, Linko. What is it, 635? He said I haven't even done anything with mine yet. It's still in a box. I don't have an antenna for it. I don't know if it will work on my dual band antenna or not, but I said with everything going on, I just haven't got that far. But probably should the next couple of weeks. Nothing else, I'll make an antenna for it. At least got a 220 rig, so I'll be on there eventually.
Cool. Yeah, the antenna's the hardest part about it, really, because then you got to put it up somewhere and you got to run new wire to it, etc. Anyway, everything else good for you, Chris?
Not really. Getting through day to day. Still on this side of dirt though, so I'll take that as that's a good thing. Anyway, hope everything's good with you and the rest of the bunch. And is this weekend for breakfast? I don't know. I was supposed to go do a thing and that got canceled today. So I guess if it's fourth week, we get breakfast this weekend.
It's not the second and fourth, and the fourth already went by. The fourth was the 22nd. I mean, the second weekend. The second Saturday is the 8th, and the fourth was the 22nd. We may have one on the 5th, just for fun, since that's it. We're running. We end up having a 2-week break instead of a 1-week break. So it's kind of we throw one in.
Perfect.
Anyway, second and fourth, but we'll probably announce one on the 5th of November.
doing what you do. And back to that, Chris Cat, 4WBZ.
Great signal. I believe I heard Michael, KM4YRF and KN4TJF over in the hinterlands. How you doing there, Mike?
Doing pretty good, Paul, for an old guy.
When you coming back to Mount Juliet and live in the civilized world?
Hopefully, sir.
Yeah, okay, very good. Yeah, I'm used to hearing a much bigger signal here when you're in Bellshire or in Mount Juliet.
Yeah, I know it's really kind of taken back.
How's Rick feeling?
He's doing good.
All right, very good. I mean, everything's getting better for him, I hope.
Yeah, he just had a little bout with breathing problem, but he's over that now. All is well.
Yeah, very good. Anything else for the net?
Nothing else, Paul. Back to next control.
Sounds good. That was Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, and his bro, Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot. That's Rick, both in at the moment in Ashland City. That's Ashland City, Tennessee. Who else is west?
Golf 4 India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
All right, Jack. Jack, you've been silent on 220, man.
Hey, I'm not going to check in tonight because I had to take my antenna down. I'm going to move it to a different place.
Oh, that's why. So your antenna got evicted?
I think that I can find a better site for a little more substantial than where I had it mounted.
Ah, very good. I can't wait because I want to see how I sound because I added some height to my antenna.
Good deal. Well, it's coming along. Anyway, 73 to everyone out there. And Paul, thanks for doing what you do. And I guess that's all for me. KG4 LV.
All right. I wish I knew what I do. That was Jack, Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. We're looking for West check-ins. Please come in.
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo, Greg and Enya.
Hey, Greg. You heard Jack, I take it?
I did. Yeah, I was wondering. Glad to know he'll be back.
Oh, yeah. We'll be back tonight, though.
Yeah, I bet that's fine. We'll probably have 20 other people check in. So we'll see you soon, Jackson.
I'm expecting a pile-up, actually.
Yeah.
Very good. Anything else for that, Greg?
No, catch you on the next one. KD4CD.
Very good. That was Greg in Antioch. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Anybody else west?
Kilo Bravo 9 Oscar Charlie Delta.
Hey, ain't heard from obsessive compulsive disease. Greg, how you doing, Greg?
Very good, Paul. Very good. I'm back. I had me a good nap this afternoon. That's why I can stay up so late tonight. Got permission for the wife to do so. So you're sounding great as always, and we are also working on 220, but not quite there yet.
Oh yeah, well that's the dilemma when you get a band that nobody uses, or not very few people, I should say, and you don't have an antenna because you can't use it 70 centimeter, you can't use 2 meter. Well, you can, but it doesn't work very well. But anyway, it just costs. You end up spending money.
Oh, without a doubt. But anyway, I just thought I'd let you know. I thought I'd check in, say good evening to everybody on the net. And this is Kilo Bravo 9, Oscar Charlie Delta, 73 to everyone. Back to net.
I forgot where you're located. I know you're up in the north sector, but northwest, I should say.
Pleasant View, Tennessee.
Yeah. I was going to say that, but I wasn't positive. I hate making guesses.
Well, you're allowed once or twice.
That's the only thing that kept me out of college was high school. Anyway, that was Greg. Pleasant View, Kilo Bravo 9, Oscar, Charlie Delta. Hoping to get into. There's 2 people hoping to get into 220. That's very good. We're going to have a pretty good group of people on 220 at some point. Who else is west? Please come down. West or south?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
All right, Larry. Everything all right? It's your sector.
Yeah, we cool down here, man.
Very good. I was going to ask you a question, but I don't think there is one. We haven't seen you at a breakfast in a while.
Yeah, I'll make one of these days.
All right, sounds good. Looking forward to it. Anything else for the net?
No, we're good, man. Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Very good. Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. That's Larry. He's down in Rockville. Who else is south?
Kilo India 4 November Delta November. Good evening, Mr. Paul.
Hello, Mr. David. I heard you check into what it was the whiskey. It was the Lebanon repeater. Yes, Thursday. Wednesday, Tuesday. That's when it was.
Oh yeah, I was heard some familiar voices on there, and I thought, well, I'll just give them a check-in. That was the first time check-in ever, and heard like I said, a familiar voice, and that gave another check-in, if you will.
Oh yeah, no, that's they've been doing that net for I have no idea how long. It's been a long time. I'll have to ask one of the guys who's been in Lebanon County in Wilson for a long time. It's been a long. I bet it's been up there for 20 years.
Oh yes, sir. Well, I was just kind of scanning the band when I don't hear no. I'm push that button and let it scan and have to hear that familiar voice. I thought, well, I'll stop right here and give them a check in, and that's what I did. Wasn't stalking anybody in particular, just scanning the band.
Yeah, it's stalking. You have to waste a lot of time stalking repeaters in this here part of the woods.
Well, that's a good thing. Quiet, not annoying or anything. Just every now and then hear a kerchunk, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. I've kerchunked the best of them. You know that.
I sure, sir. But I sure appreciate you doing this net as always, and it's been long term and ongoing and it's growing. So very good. Kudos to you, sir.
Oh, I think the best part about it isn't that this one has grown into a monster, which it kind of has, to somewhat anyway. We've settled into probably averaging about 25 to 30, but I like the fact that there's several other simplex nets running around out there, and they didn't seem to be there before we started. So I'm just glad we induced some other activity. At least I think we have. I don't think they'll. I'm not sure they'd admit to it. No, I know that a couple of them. No, there's a couple of them I know they would. Anyway, that was David, KI4NDN. He's in Reedyville. Yeah, great signal, David. Who else is south? Hello, Mr. Tony.
And tonight's word is what? Oh, never mind.
It's never mind.
Anyway, nope, just got home. I was afraid I was going to miss the net, but no, you were long-winded tonight, so I didn't.
Long-winded. It's only 27 after the hour.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No, we're doing fine. You doing all right down there?
Pretty much. I mean, I got my bag of garbage off the road today, and the back road is spick and span, and for at least another 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, it is one thing you can count on. That thing there's going to be more.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. Don't get me started.
Oh, I know. Well, just think what it would look like if you didn't go out and pick it up.
Yeah, when we were in Alaska, they had almost 2 weeks, and it was pretty grungy.
I hope you didn't announce that you were leaving for that period of time. They probably made a special effort.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
All right, very good. Anything else for the net, Tony? Hey, by the way, I didn't hear you on. You're going to be on 220 tonight?
That's it. KF4, KF2.
All right, very good. I doubled there, but that's fine. I'll catch Tony later. That's Tony, Kilo Foxtrot 4, Kilo Foxtrot Quebec, and he's in Smyrna. Who else is south? Wow, that's I heard Kilo Mike 4 November Yankee, but that's a really noisy signal tonight. How you doing there, Bill? Boy, somebody give me a relay on that because I can't make out all the words. It's really noisy for some reason. Yeah, very good, Bill. Good to hear from you. That was Kilo Mike 4 November Yankee, Bill in Murfreesboro. Who else is south? Anybody else south or anywhere?
How about east, KI4SIB, KI4SOR, and I represent that conversation you and Frank were having.
Oh, yeah. I did go east. I started with east. Where you been?
Did you start with east?
Yes.
I was under a rock.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. I decided I'm going to start making announcements when somebody says I haven't checked in a long time. I'll say, well, I dare you not to check in.
And then they're going to look at the comments and say, rules? We don't need no stinking rules.
Well, again, I dare you not to. And then they'll make a point. I'm going to check in just to prove him wrong.
There you go. Hope everything's good in your household.
Oh, yeah, it's all good. When they live with 5 dogs, it's never a dull moment, let me tell you.
Oh, boy. I hope you got a pen there
backyard.
Oh yeah, I got a nice big backyard. It's great. They love it. And, you know, it's I don't even know why I have a. The only reason I have a big yard is for the dogs. I don't do anything out there.
Well, you could build a pool.
I've had a pool. That's why I don't have a pool.
Okay, it sure comes out.
That's why. That's why when I met the woman I married to, and she, after a little bit, she says, "I'm surprised you don't have a boat." I mean, I always thought she was like fishing for the idea that I'd buy a boat. I said, "No, no, I don't want a boat." She goes, "Why is that?" I go, "I spent 4 years on a destroyer at sea. I have no interest in a boat."
No, I don't know. I wouldn't imagine that you do.
No, it'd be different. I mean, boating in a nice little lake, like out on the Cumberland, would be fine, but it just you can get your fill of something if you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess the stereotype though is that once in the Navy, you always want to be in the Navy, so you buy a boat.
Oh no, you have to buy that hat, that hat with the little logo on the front, the brim hat.
Oh yeah, I gotta have that.
No, just no interest really. It's just I like boats, I like fishing, but I don't want to own a boat. They're just a big pain in the butt.
Best 2 days of boat ownership: the day you buy it, the day you sell it. Boat is an acronym. Break out another 1,000.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Outboard motors are the bane of mankind.
There you go.
Anyway, that was Richard, KI4SIB, and his bride, Kilo India 4, Sierra Oscar Romeo, Stephanie. Anybody else anywhere, including East? Second time on East? No more check-ins? Did we run out of room here?
Kilo Quebec 4, Alpha Oscar Juliet Abidjan.
Someday, John, I'm going to get your call correct. It is Alpha Oscar Juliet.
Yes, Kilo Quebec 4, Alpha Oscar Juliet.
All right, very good. Just want to make sure. I'm still not quite used to the call in that sequence. So anyway, how you doing, John?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Very good. How are things going at work? I'd love to tell people what you do, but I'm not sure they'd understand it since I don't.
I mean, I guess the fun part is like now working with doctors to figure out what is wrong with people. Though I'm not an MD, but yeah, it's been going pretty fine. I guess the 4 months is trying to adapt to the new responsibilities anyway.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it's very challenging. I mean, it's your end of the bit. I was listening to some academics today for a couple of hours in the social sciences, humanities. And what's bad about people who are talking, it was on YouTube. What's bad about that is that they're not trying to reach the masses with their language because I learned in what I did for a living. I had to match what I was saying, the type of language I was using to them. If I'm dealing with just a manager of something, I had to use generic language. If I'm talking to a technical person, it changed. So it was the same thing with them. They were using language that probably 50% of people, maybe more, they have no idea what they're saying.
Well, in science, you learn pretty quickly that if you cannot explain things in rather lay terms, you don't get funded. The reason being, in a lot of cases, when you write a grant, for example, you want to get money from the agencies, right? And people on those boards, especially in my case, I'm a computational person. I'm a computational chemist. A lot of them are experimental people who have very little idea about the jargon and language that I'm using. So if I cannot explain what I'm doing in terms that they can understand, then I basically have no chance of getting funded. And also at a policy level, if you, as an agency, cannot explain why you need that money to, a representative or a senator or whatnot, then you don't get funded. So yeah, it's a very important part of our jobs to make, people who are not scientists understand what we're doing.
Oh yeah, no, I bet. I've done that too. I'm doing some papers I did in college, and you'd be looking, looking at other papers, gathering information. And sometimes what's written in other people's documents are almost unreadable. They're so full of technical jargon that you're not exactly sure what they're saying.
Yep, but yeah, I mean, I guess it's like when you like what you're doing and when you want to express to other people what you are
Oh yeah, no, I get it. It's all valuable stuff. It just seems it's at your level. It's you're not moving it. You're not in the Indianapolis 500. It's more like a crawl. Getting through different segments of what you're looking for.
Yep. So yeah, that is pretty much that. And for the last week, I've been, I guess, experimenting a lot with my fireplace. My current apartment has a fireplace, and I never had one in my life. So I'm trying to light it even when it's like relatively warm outside. But I guess tonight is midnight, and then the last few weeks to actually light it.
Oh, that's a challenge for people who have never had to start fires before. I know. I trained. I did early. Way on. My parents and I used to do a lot of camping, and of course I went camping with the Boy Scouts. That was another thing. And of course, you can cheat and just get some newspaper and put it underneath some very fine kindling, and then with the bigger stuff on top, and then the bigger stuff on top of that.
Yeah, I guess there's no shame in doing that. But that's exactly what I'm doing.
No, not at all. That's the nice fast way. Now, if you were push come to shove, see, we always carried around in that be prepared scenario that they use in the Boy Scouts. You always had on you dry matches, and then if you really wanted to cheat, you carried around some slivers of creosote logs that came off the railroad tracks because the creosote burned like crazy.
Yeah, I guess my motto in life is let the future Alajon worry about, such necessities of life. If I'm ever in that position, I'm pretty sure I will one way or another figure out how to do it. But today I'm okay with newspapers and lighters. But yeah, I mean, I actually really would like to learn how to do it the Boy Scout way one day as well.
It's no big deal. You'll see. Just look it up. Look up how to start a fire in the woods. You'll probably see how easy it is. Really, just of course you have to have a knife or a small axe or something just to chop up the smaller pieces. But anyway, anything else for the net knowledge on? You spend much time on the air at all besides here?
My wife was here. That's why I actually missed a lot of nets. But now she's gone, so I guess I'll be on air even more in her absence for a while. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm supposed to be chilling and work.
All right. Well, very good. I know you're keeping busy over there, and I'm glad you had got to spend some quality time with the wife. That you guys were separated for a little while. Where did she go back to? Did she go? She didn't. She's still in the States.
She is going back to Turkey, and then she has a conference in Germany. And then eventually she will come back. It's just we're not sure about when. Probably maybe December.
Oh wow. Wow. Well, that's not too far away, I guess. Anyway, anything else for the net, Alison?
Nope. Thank you so much, and have a good night, everyone.
Very good. That's Kilo Quebec 4, Alpha, Oscar, Juliet. And I guess that's close to Antioch, isn't it?
Yeah, right on the border between Antioch and Nashville.
All right, very well. It's really just Nashville Davidson. That's all. It's a nice reference, though, just to know that it's Antioch. Anyway, it's Alison, Kilo Quebec 4, Alpha, Oscar, Juliet. Do we have anybody else checking in? All right, we had Slim Pickens, but we're going over. It was number 20, by the way. We're going over to wherever I said we were going. Oh, yeah, 28.415, 28.415 upper sideband. And then after that, we'll be going to 223, 415 for a few of you that have that capability. And it's kind of been fun. It's a little adventure because I've never been on that band before with a regular radio. So, any more check-ins before I move on? All righty. Going right over 28.415. We'll see you there, K4PW. I heard you in there, Richard. I heard you in there, Richard. Richard, you can't hear me? All right, I was checking in Richard, but he can't hear me. That was KI4SIB and KI4SOR, just west of Lebanon. Who else is, we're starting from the east, of course. Who's there on the east? Anybody from the east out there?
KG4CXD, Chris in Royal.
All righty, sound good, Chris. It sounds a little wacky tonight. Could you hear Richard at all? Chris, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo east. East or north?
TV9 RKK.
All right, you are on the right radio. I just thought I'd confirm with you.
Roger that.
Very good. That was Frank, Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo, Kilo Kilo. Who else is north? Anybody copying any north stations? Over to the west.
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
All right, Jack. Were you copying Richard over there in Lebanon?
Just barely.
Yeah, he's a slacker, isn't he?
He was way off in the distance.
I know it. He's always been horrible on 10 meters. I hope he's listening.
Anyway, I'll let you go.
All right, that was Jack. Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Who else is west? All right, hold on. I had 3 in there at the same time. Kinda KN4 TJF, which is Rick, and then I had a KM for Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. It's Michael, both in Ashland City, and then I believe I heard Kilo Golf or Kilo Delta for Charlie Victor Echo. You know, my words mixed up here. That was Greg. Did I get everybody in there right? Ah, very good. Anyway, Rick, Michael, and Greg. And I got all those right. And Greg's in Antioch, and Michael and Rick are in Ashland City. Who else is west? West or south? Oh, very good. I heard you in there, Greg. You sound good. Are you copying anybody else besides me? Okay, just very good. I didn't think you were going to do too well up there, but no, you should be able to hear them. Anyway, good to have you in there. Nice to hear your voice there, Greg. I mean, nice to hear your voice there. Yeah, Greg, that's who I'm talking to. Everything else going okay? Awesome. Very good, Greg. That was Kilo Bravo 9 Oscar Charlie Delta. He's in Pleasant View. Who else is west or south? I'm hearing something out there, but it might be just the voices in my head. Anybody have a relay on anything? Yeah, go ahead, Greg. I think it sounds about the same. I think it sounds about the same as the previous time. All right, very good. Hey, by the way, Chris, are you still on frequency? Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-ray Echo? I checked out already. Dang. All right. Anybody else? Any place, anywhere? Please come down. Or north, south, east, or west. I swear I can hear voices out there, but they probably are, but long, far away. So we had 10 check-ins, unless there's somebody else out there I can't hear. No relays? All righty, 10 check-ins there. Appreciate everybody who checked in. It was good to have you guys there. And we're going to close that portion of the net over and move it over to 220. Wherever we were, 220.415. We'll see you there, K4P. This is Kilo 4, Papa Echo Whiskey for this portion of the nets. Who else out besides Greg? All righty, KF4, KFQ. Tony, who else is out there? Well, I'm expecting Greg to jump in there. Greg, Tony, you copying Greg? Yeah, Greg, are you copying Tony?
Negative. If I switch from the other radio to the vertical, I'll be able to hear him.
All righty, very good. Well, it's a net of 2.5 then. Yeah, that's too bad, Tony. It really is. I mean, it seems so silly that We just need more people in the South on this frequency. That's all. Nobody else out there on 220? I was hoping Greg would jump in there.
Does he have an antenna up yet?
I thought he said he did, but I'm not sure now what he said.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Can anybody else hear me other than you?
Nobody but us chickens. No, it's just it's got to be a little, just like I think Tony, the what's his name there, Mark, yeah, WB9N00. He was on DMR. He sold his radio. He's so disgusted with it.
I can understand that. Yeah.
No, can't say I blame him. I mean, it's not that great a mode. It really isn't. And 220 is good, but you've got such a barrier where you are,
Well, I was thinking once all this HOA thing goes away, I may be inspired to push the antenna up another 8 or 10 feet just to see if that makes a difference. I'm not, real optimistic as to what will happen, but anything's possible, I guess.
Yeah, no, you're right. I have a hard time imagining what would make it better other than even doubling the height due to the problems that are, terrain wise. It might not help at all.
But apparently nobody other than you can hear me.
Well, yes, at this stage, hopefully there's going to be some more people jumping in there. It's just that I guess you're the only one with the money and the brains to be on AM radio in that mode down south. I'm sorry I missed that.
I think we need to do the Saturday on 220. What do you think?
I think we want listeners. Anyway, nothing else for the net, guys, because here we are with only 3 people. Jack's got his antenna down and nobody else jumped in here.
This is like having an encrypted signal, but without really encrypting it, because nobody else can hear me. That's it for me, Bob. But I'll be back in here in a few minutes. I'll be listening on 2 meters.
All right, very good. I'll go with the people that get to you, so you'll feel good about it, Tony. Everybody that's on YouTube can hear you if they're still out there, and there's still at least one person in there that I know of that's listening.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, very good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close it up. K4PEW. You guys have a great night.
K4PEW.
So we're closing the net. This is K4PEW. For those of you who are still on YouTube, if there's anybody, and for all the ships at sea, have a good night. K4PEW.